Hello students and welcome to the lecture. So students, as we know that we are covering the national integration. Okay, that is the topic on which we have been discussing about. All right, and basically under this particular series of the national integration, these all are the topics that we have scheduled for the discussion. Like starting with the introduction part, thereafter the meaning of national integration, thereafter the aims of national integration, thereafter the role of various factors in promoting the national integration, thereafter the obstacles to the national integration, thereafter the National Integration Council, thereafter the National Foundation for Communal Harmony. Okay, this is the picture that we have created so far altogether. If we talk about the topics that we have covered so far, so basically we have done with the introduction part, we have done with the meaning of national integration. The topic on which we have been discussing right now, that is the aims of national integration. The topic that we are left with, this is the role of various factors in promoting the national integration, obstacles to the national integration, National Integration Council, and the National Foundation for Communal Harmony. Okay, so this is the picture that we have created so far altogether. Basically, in this lecture, we will start from where we had left, but we will first see the previous things that we have covered. In the previous lecture, basically, we have done with the elimination of discrimination and the prejudice, where I have told you that discrimination is an act of giving preference to several things over the others. Prejudice is creating the perceptions regarding the things that might not exist in the reality. Okay, in this we have discussed national integration is having the aim to eliminate the all forms of discrimination and the perception which are based on the ethnicity, language, religion, or other kind of differences. This is focused on creating an inclusive society, okay, where everyone will have the equal opportunities and everyone is treated with the dignity and the respect. Okay. So this is what we have covered. Thereafter, we have done with the building of cohesive and the harmonious society or harmonious nation, you can say. Like in this, we have covered that cohesive means including all the things. Cohesive means including all the things, while harmonious means creating a harmony between the segments. Okay. In this, we have discussed that the ultimate objective of national integration is to build the cohesive and the harmonious nation, and this could be ensured by achieving the sense of belonging. Sense of belonging amongst the people and creation of motivation amongst the people to contribute towards the country's progress. Okay, and this could be creating an environment where the peoples that are belong to the different diverse backgrounds, they could live and work together peacefully. Okay, so this is the picture that we have created, or this is the topics that we have discussed. Now, if we talk about the another aim, okay, so that is achieving. It means that it is not achieved so far. Okay, or you can say we are still working for it. So remember, we are saying achieving, not we have achieved. Okay, and what we are working for, what we are trying to achieve. So basically, we are trying to achieve the social stability, okay, the peace, and the inclusive development. All right. So basically, however, here you can say that these words are lined up like this: social stability, peace, and the inclusive development. But if we will try to arrange them in a cause and action order, then how should they be arranged? So this is just a mental ability question to all of you. All right. For this, I will give you the almost 40 seconds to think about it, and then I will provide you the answer. Okay. So your time starts now. 10 seconds have been passed off. Last 30s are remaining. Last 20 seconds. Last 10 seconds. All right, the time's up. So basically, if we try to arrange them in a proper order, so the pieced will have the first preference. Why? Because without creating the harmony, without creating the peace amongst the segments of the population that differs from each other in various aspects. Their language might be different, their religion might be different, the ethnicity, the customs, the traditions, the caste, the race they belong to. Okay, so basically the first thing that we are required is to creating a peace amongst them. Until or unless the peace is created, they could not be harmonized. And if they could not be harmonized, they are violative. Then social stability, it means that the society is working normally. Everyone is okay. Okay, everyone is doing well. This could not be achieved until or unless there is a peace. Okay, for example, suppose you are in the classroom. Okay, you having a group of people that belong to certain ideology. It means that they are supporting certain ideology. There is another group that is supporting another ideology, and there is another group that is supporting another ideology, and there is also another group that is supporting another ideology. So just rename these ideologies as ideology A, B, C, and D. So total in the classroom, if there are 100 students, okay, total 100 students are there, 25 of them supports the ideology A, 25 supports the ideology B, 25 supports the ideology C, while the 25 supports the ideology D. Okay, so it means that their ideologies are different. So what should we call them? A homogeneous group or the heterogeneous group? Of course, the heterogeneous. Why? Because if they all will support the same ideology, that will be called as a homogeneous group. Okay, here I'm not talking about the class they belong to. Why? Because we could call the class as our nation of India. Okay, so basically within the nation, if we call everyone as an Indian, so this is common thing. But if we go with their ideology, so ideology is defined from the ethnicity they belong to, defined from the religion they belong to, defined from the caste, defined from the race, language, and various things would be there. All right. So on the basis of the classroom, we could not call them as a homogeneous group. Okay. And on the basis of ideology, we are calling them the heterogeneous. Similarly, applicable with the country. On the basis of country, we could call them homogeneous. Everyone is Indian. Me and you is Indian. Okay. Everyone we see around us is Indian. Okay. Until or unless is a foreigner, but they will be Indian. Okay. Mostly. So if we look from this picture, then what we will conclude that yes, everyone is Indian. It's a homogeneous group. But if we go deeper inside and if we will try to find out the ideology they are following, okay, so their ideologies will be different, right? Similar thing with this class. In class, 100 students are there, total population. Through the meaning of the class is the homogeneous because you are in the same class. You are sitting on the same room. You are sitting on the same benches. Okay, you are using the common resources of fan, AC, cooler, whatever you are getting, the blackboard and all. You are getting mentored by the same teacher. All right, but the differs come when we go in the deeper side, the ideology. All right, so now every one of you following the different ideology or belong to the group that is following the ideology which differs from the ideologies being followed by the another group. All right, so in such a case, if the class is not having the peace, it means that you are not intolerant, okay, towards the another ideology group. So what will happen? There will be clashes. whether physical clashes or the mental clashes. All right. Any type of clash will result in which thing? The elimination of peace. It means that the class will not have a peace. The people is fighting over their implementation of the ideology. The group A is saying something which is opposite by the group B. If the group B is saying something, then C and D will oppose it. Okay. So the peace will not be there. If the peace will not be there, what do you think? The social stability or the class stability could be ensured. The class would behave normally. No. Either there will be a physical clash or mental clash. That is for sure. Okay. And when such kind of things will be there, ultimately the class stability will be countered. All right. The students will start fight with each other. Okay. And there will be a clashes. Okay. So basically, the social stability is totally dependent upon the tolerance of the groups regarding the ideologies of another groups which they do not belong. Okay. So it means that doesn't matter whether 25 students following ideology A, 25 following ideology B, 25 following ideology C, and 25 following ideology D. Doesn't matter. But all of them having the tolerance amongst them, of course, they will respect your ideology. If you're not agreeing on our opinion, then we will listen your opinion and we will try to find out the common solution through the discussion. Okay. And when this kind of thing will be there, this kind of peace will be there, ultimately the class will be stable. Okay. So social stability comes from the peace, and peace comes from the tolerance power amongst the people. And then the third one is the inclusive development. So what is the significance of the inclusive development? Why we are not saying the development? Why we are not saying the development? For example, let's take the example of a class. Okay. In the first term, out of 100 students, 20 students scored more than 50 marks in the paper. All right. In the second term, 30 students scored more than 50 marks. So if we go by the data, just we will see the data. So what do you think? Is the class developing? Is the class making progress? You will say yes, class is making progress. And I will ask why. So you will say because in the first term, only 20 students were able to achieve more than 50 marks. In the next term, 30 students achieved more than 50 marks. It means that there is the enhancement of 10 more students in the achievers of 50 marks. Class is progressing. But if I ask you the question like each and every student of the class is involved in this progress, so you will say no. You can't say yes. Why? Because out of 100 students, only the 10 students progressed. Those 20s were already progressing. Okay. Please do not count 30 students. Why? Because what I told you, in the first term, 20 students were achieving 50 marks, more than 50 marks. So they were already an achievers. But 10 more students indulged in the group. What is signified? It signified that only the 10 students were progressed. Then whatever marks they were achieving in the first term, they progressed from it, and then in the second term they achieved more than 50 marks. Okay, so it means that only the 10 students progressing out of 100, not all students. Even those 20s were achieved 50 marks, they were not progressing. Why? Because already they had achieved the 50 marks. There is no enhancement in their marking capacity, right? That's the thing. So same with the society. If in the society I ask you like suppose in the population of 100 crores, for example, just for example, in the population of 100 crores, 20 crores people were in the rich class. Okay, were in the rich class. After an year, 30 crore people are in the rich class. So if we look at the data again, if we just look at the data and I ask you, is the country making progress? What you will say? Yes, country is making progress. Why? Because in the previous year, 20 crore population was above the rich line, but this year, 30 crore population is above the rich line. So it means the country is progressing. But if I ask you, is each and everyone making progress? You will say no. Why? Because only the 10 crore people were able to enhance their living standards, enhance their earnings, and reach the class of reaching class. All right, 20 crores were already there. Please do not count them. 20 crores were already there. So that's why inclusive development is differs from the development. Why? Because development only counts the you can say increasing of the numbers from 20 to 30. They will also count this only. Okay, but inclusive development will count the development of each and everyone. It means that instead of just seeing the rich class, we will see that how many people elevated towards the middle class, upper middle class, from poverty line, how many people reach this. Okay, similarly with your classroom, instead of just checking the people who achieve 50 marks or more than 50 marks, we will see that which students were below the 10 marks and now they achieve more than 10, below the 20, how they achieve 20. Okay, so this is the thing. So inclusive development is basically implies the development of all. Each and every individual who is living in this country, who is using the resources, and you can say who is dependent on the natural resources of this country, that will be developed. Okay, and this could be only possible when each and everyone will have the opportunity to get himself developed. If there will be a concentration of resources towards the one segment only, then the other segments will not develop. Okay, and the one segment that having the access to these resources, they will be developing, and if we just see the development, we will say the country is developing. But if we see from the perspective of seeing each and everyone's development, then we will see the country is not developing at all. Okay, so this is the correct order. First, the peace, second, the social stability, and third is the inclusive development. Okay, and how all these things could be achieved? By implementing the national integration. This is our, you can say, Brahmastra to achieve the things. All right. So we can say by promoting the national integration, our country can achieve the social stability and the peace. And these are the most essential things for the development. Okay, like if each and every individual of this country is feeling that he belongs to the country first, then belonging to certain caste, ethnicity, race, religion, and all. Okay, then only the peace could be ensured. Okay, why? Then only the people will realize that yes, basically we have the responsibility towards the nation and everyone in this nation is important. Like if we take the example of your class in which you are studying, all right. So if each and every individual feels that he belongs to this class, okay, and they are required to perform in the school, okay, the school, just take example of the world, okay. So if each and everyone and each and every student feels that he belongs to this class and they are required to take the class up, then only they will be understand that each and every student who are sitting beside them, doesn't matter which ideology they support, they having several importance in this class. Without indulging them, without cooperating with them, we could not take this class higher. Then only the peace could be ensured. And when the peace will be ensured, the social stability will automatically come. And when these both things will be ensured, the students will try to feel belongingness and motivated towards contributing a class progress. Then the development could be ensured. Okay. Then the students will try to score more and more marks. And when the more and more marks will become, the class become disciplined. All right. The class becomes supportive and coordinated. Then the class will shine in the school. Similar thing applicable in the society scenarios. Like in the society, if every individual feels that he belongs to the country of India first, then belonging to another thing, okay, then he will understand that another person who is also a citizen of this country is having the importance in this country. Okay, and then only with cooperating with them, with respecting them, they could achieve the better goals towards the country. And when the country's people will try to achieve the goals, will try to elevate themselves from the different areas, then only the nation will shine amongst the world. Okay, so these are the things. And how these things are possible? By the means of national integration. An integration nation is more likely to experience the sustained economic growth. Why? Why I'm saying sustained economic growth? So you can take it, suppose, for example, you are living in area. Okay, you are living in an area. This area is the industrial area. Okay, this area is having certain industries, certain complexes, and having the better infrastructure in terms of road, railways, and airports. All right. If there is a peace, if there is a peace in the society, then what will happen? The things will behave normally. The people will use the roads normally. The people will go to the industries for work and all normally. The people will go to the complexes, whether shopping or business complexes. The money circulation will be normally. Okay. When every economic activities, or you can say any socio-economic activities working normally, it means that the country or the area will automatically grow. Okay. Will automatically show the economic growth. But if there is no peace, it means one group is fighting with another group is fighting with another. All right. There is a condition of riot. There is a condition of curfew and all. Then what will happen? The roads infrastructure will be obstructed. Railway lines will be obstructed. Flights will be cancelled. All right. Then what will happen? The industrial workers will not be able to go to the industries. When the workers of the industry will not be able to go to the industries, then what will happen? Automatically, the industries will not be able to carry on the production. Okay. They won't be able to carry the production, and when they won't be able to carry the production, automatically the production will decrease. All right. And when the factory's production will be decreased, the factory will not be able to pay the salaries to the workers. All right. It means that the livelihood will be impacted. Similarly, the people who are living in that area, because of the clashes, because of the riots, because of the curfew, they won't be able to go to the business complexes and the shopping complexes. These complexes will be shut down in order for the security purposes. All right. Then what will happen? The money circulation will be impacted. Okay. When the money circulation will be impacted, what does it signifies? It signifies that automatically the money flow will be obstructed. Okay. And when these things will be happen, then what will happen? The socio-economic growth and the socio-economic activities will not be working as usual. And when they won't be working as usual, automatically the economic growth will be hampered. Okay. Now compare these two things. Now compare these two things, like compare the first example where everything was normal. The transportation was normal. Roads were using normal. The railway lines were using normal. The airports, the flights were flying on the time and all. The industrial worker going to the industries for work. Okay. The production industries, you can say carrying on normally. It means that the production is normal. The production is normal. The industry is able to pay the salaries. The salaries will be paid. Livelihood will not be impacted. The people is going to the business complexes and shopping complexes. Circulation of money is normal. Economy, socio-economic activities will normal. It means the country will make progress. On the other hand, take the example of other side which I have given you. Full of curfew, full of riots, full of clashes. Industries are shut down. No production is there. Livelihood will impact it. Transportation is, you can say, totally shut down. People not allowed to use the roads. Railway lines not allowed to be used. Flights getting cancelled. Shopping complexes, business complexes are closed. The money circulation is hampered. So if you compare both of these, what you will say? Which area will make the progress in the economic growth and which areas not? What do you think? Ultimately, the area where everything is normal. The area where everything is normal, that will make the economic growth. Alright? And area where everything is abnormal, there is no peace, there is no social stability, that area will not able to make the progress at all. Confirm? Okay. So that's why we say that the social stability and the peace is essential for the development. Why? Because when the socio-economic activities will be done in the usual manner, ultimately the area will make the economic growth. Okay. Social harmony, like I have explained you in the previous lecture also, when each and every element of the society, instead of belonging to the heterogeneous society, they will understand the importance of each and every one. Okay. Ultimately leads to the inclusive development. Okay. It means that not only we will focus on the data that we are getting, but we will see, is each and every individual of this country making the development or not? If not, then we will work for them. And that will benefiting all the citizens, okay, irrespective of the differences they having with the other citizens. All right. Now, another one is the unity and the solidarity. That is another important thing. Unity and the solidarity. National integration basically involves those activities and those policies which are designed to bring the people together. Okay, like whatsoever activities the government is making, whatsoever policies they are implementing, these policies must be aimed to bring the people together instead of separating them. Okay, and how this could be done? So basically this could be done through the national celebrations. Okay, like basically we have seen, doesn't matter which festival is there, it belongs to the which community, whether it's a Sanatan festival, Islamic festival, Sikh festival, Christian festival, Buddhist festival, Jainism festival, whatsoever festival. Basically you have seen that basically we celebrate them together. Even the governments, the representatives of the government, they give their blessing to all irrespective of the religion they belong to. Thereafter, the national education curricula, which involves the curriculums that bringing the students together. Why? Because the person who is student today, who is child today, he will be the citizen of future, right? So that's why it is important that since their childhood, we should inherit the sense of nationalism amongst them. That emphasizes the national history, values and policies. Okay, that will encourage the inter-regional and the intercultural exchange. By focusing on what unites the population, such as shared goals and values, national integration will strengthen the national identity. Like instead of identity of their religion, their caste and all, they will say that we belong to the India, we are the Indians. And this will reduce the regionalism and sectarianism, which are harmful for the aim of national integration. Okay, so this is the thing. So students, basically in this lecture we have finished till here. In the next lecture we will continue from here. Till then, just revise the facts and figures that all we have discussed in this lecture. Be ready for the another lecture. With this note, let's end this lecture and thank you.